And then as we were leaving Huntington Beach, do you want to tell them what happened?
Yeah, there was both as we're coming in and leaving, there's huge, I don't know why RV parks feel like they need to put this huge divot or a ditch or whatever.
A dip.
A huge dip in their driveways.
Especially when it's an RV park.
But we were able to get in okay and didn't have any problems. But when I was leaving, I was also worried about oncoming cars. When I was leaving, I was going as slow as I could and hit my freshwater valve and popped it right off, and just 60 gallons because we had just filled up. We had just filled up because we wanted to take it with us. 60 gallons of water all
over the road.
The whole road was covered in 60 gallons of water, and I was like, oh, really? So, a guy stopped and saw me do it, and he picked it up, and I saw it. So I went into the median, and stopped and went to go grab it, and I was so annoyed because I thought, man,
we busted it.
I thought I completely broke my freshwater tank. That's what it looks like. Water just poured out. So we'll talk about that.
It's a total adventure every time we're in an RV.
Every time.
I swear, every time I think it's good, no.
Stay away from dips and ditches and curbs, or you're going to snap something off. Our clearance is so low anyways because of the stabilizers don't come up super high. And then luckily we haven't broken a stabilizer or hit that. But yeah, this
he's saying that right now.
Freshwater valve.
We'll see what happened.
Okay, so here's the valve that popped off. You can see the insulation on it that tore off. This is the handle. Pull the valve and the water comes out. Push it back in. Keeps the water in. If that's not there, the water just poured all out. When it happened, I was thinking that it just broke the whole thing. But it looks like from inspection that nothing broke. It just popped right off. So where it popped off didn't crack or break. This didn't break. The insulation came off and stayed on this valve, but we can always just put some more on there. So I'm gonna go put it back on. This here is under the RV. This is the actual tank here. That's where it popped off from, and you can tell it's a pretty sturdy piece, and it didn't break. It just popped off. So hopefully I'll just be able to screw it back on, and I just put it on, and I'm seeing if it's gonna correctly turn in and hold water. Cross your fingers, because this is our freshwater tank. We need it to hold water.
Sum it up. Did the valve work? Were we able to hold water after that?
We did, yeah. Luckily nothing was broke. I just screwed it back on.
You just screwed it back on and
popped out.
Yeah.
Without breaking any of the threads or anything like that, and it's been working fine. So.
Yeah. So sum it up. You never know. You're gonna have lots of problems when you're in an RV, but yep. I wouldn't trade it for anything. We had a lot of fun.
Moving house.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep problems from happening.
We are now at St. George, Utah. It is a Sunday morning, so we went and found a church to go to, a ward that belongs to our church in the area. And we went to there, and then afterwards we had a family that used to live by the kids, and their kids and our kids were like the best of friends. And when they moved away and sold their house maybe a couple months after us, so we decided, since we were passing through St. George, that we were going to surprise them. And the kids decided to sneak up to their house without them knowing. And, well, the mom knew, but the younger kids weren't supposed to know. And anyway, we snuck up there and knocked on their door. And it was just a lot of fun to see them and have the kids play with them. And we were actually only planning on spending like an hour or two there, but we ended up staying most of the night before we left. But it was such a great adventure. I'm so glad that our kids were able to see them, and we've actually done it again the next time that we passed through. But anyway, they are the cutest things to watch our kids play, and I think that's one of the good things I do like about living in the RV and traveling, is that we're able to do things like this more. We're able to go and visit people that live further away, or relatives, or family, or just friends, anything, anyone that, you know, has moved away or just doesn't live close to us. It's a lot easier to go see them when you're passing through or passing by a town than it is when you live in a sticks and bricks. It's a little harder to get out. So yeah, they had a lot of fun that night. So, as you guys know, that Jeff is not a travel nurse currently. We are still working landlocked into Utah, or I call it landlocked, and he just works like 6 days in a row and then takes like 7 or 8 days off, and that's when we go out and we do our traveling. And when we come back to Salt Lake area, we don't like to RV park. We hate it. So if we can avoid it at all costs, we will. One, we don't like paying the extra money there, and two, it's kind of pricey actually to stay at an RV park. So we boondock. We love boondocking, and the one place that we go to is the flight park. I've kind of mentioned it in one of my other videos that you can check out up here, but we stay up at the flight park. It's in between Draper and Lehigh, for anyone that wants to know, and it's up at the point of the mountain, and that's where the people go and they paraglide and they parasail. And it's amazing because some days there's just a few of them, and other days it's like they've had a whole school come out and there's like 50 or 60 of them all up in the air. And the cool thing about living at the flight park for a while is it is BLM land, so you are able to stay there. But the wonderful thing about staying there is we wake up in the morning and that's the first thing that our kids see, is they look out the window and it's like, how many can they count? Who's out there? It's been a lot of fun. About staying up here is the view. On one side of it you can see the entire Salt Lake Valley if you kind of climb up this little tiny hill that's right behind where we usually park our rig. There's a hill there, and at night you can see all of the city lights. It's beautiful. And then if you look on the other side, which is usually where we keep our front door, then you can't see anything. It's like we're living in the wilderness. You can't, if you really keep walking and go over, you can see the Utah Lake, I think that's what, and more of the Utah County area. But otherwise you kind of feel like you're in the middle of nowhere because there's not, you can't really see the city or the town or anything from the viewpoint because we're kind of on a low slope right there. Anyway, like I said, this is where we stay when we do come back into the city for a few days, and we park and boondock out there, and then we head back out again. But seriously, it is a lot of fun to wake up and see these guys every morning. Well, that wraps it up for this week. So please, if you like our videos, please help support us by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and hit the bell for those notifications so you know we do try and get a new video out every week, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to do 2 a week. We'll catch you guys next week.